All right, folks, looks like we're back. Ready for the second half.
Any changes on the PEI side that you see? I think I see one gentleman there, number 22, sideburns.
No, that's the same. No, he's been out there the entire game. That's Spencer Gallant.
I'm ashamed that I didn't notice the
and
stash.
It's great that you recognize the hair and the stash. He's been rocking the mid-'80s mullet and stash for the entire season.
I love it. I love it.
Nice ball movement through the hands with a little crash there from Sil Duguay. Big John Murphy going in for the crash ball. A missed pass.
What I can see, the Black Tide had one change. I think Justin Steele, who was the yellow-carded player earlier, came off for Aaron Flannery. Both are very seasoned vets. Justin and myself and Aaron joined the Black Tide on the same day.
Wow.
In 2002, yeah.
Just a few years ago.
Just a few years ago.
A lovely offload from Phil Gallant.
Yes, very nice, very nice.
Good tackle on that.
I would expect to see the same kind of structure from PEI and the Black Tide.
That's Steve McMillan there making the offload on his knees. Very solid, strong player. Not the typical prop physique, but good, strong front row player.
With the new game, there is no typical prop physique anymore. If you have a guy that's strong enough to hold the scrum, and he can get around the field better than a regular big guy, he's on the field. I mean, you look at the pros now. You don't have the big guys anymore. You have guys that are very fit, very muscular, get around the field.
Indeed, because they're looking to contribute more to the game than just the set piece scrummaging.
True.
That's Simon Hood there, sprinting off the wing, knocking that ball forward.
I think our silence comes from a bit of confusion on what's absolutely going on down in the field right now. There was a Black Tide player offside from the kick, but I think there was something before that was called. Let's see what the line is. The referee.
Offside. Scrum to PEI.
We got a split back line. Let's see what kind of strategy they use to attack. Black Tide are going to need a big push here. I don't think a clean ball for PEI is going to be advantageous to defending here. We'll have a reset, maybe a bit of push before the ball's in. Make sure all things are fair, especially that close to the line.
So are they going strong side, or are they going to the
I think we're going to see an 8-man pick to the left, and then
okay.
secure the ball. They're going to spin it out to your centers on this side here. Let's see. Direct ball. You feel like an attack. Oh, that's an obstruction, perhaps? No.
Bit of indecision there on Mark Lloyd's behalf. They're about a meter short. Steve McMillan upright on contact.
See if they can maintain pressure. There we go.
Half again, quickly. Simon Hood in the corner for sure. Oh, I think he dropped the ball.
That's a knock on. A bit of an experience there by the winger for the Black Tide. You shouldn't pinch in for that ball. You shouldn't. I guess on a 2-on-1, that's what you want. You want the winger to pinch in on the ball and to make the ball movement actually work for you. So
that was well executed by the Mudman there. It's a bit of a drop ball on the first pass, but released Simon very well, and unfortunately it was a drop ball on the grounding attempt.
What I like about the international stuff, you can hear what the ref says. So as he's talking to the players on the broadcast, you can hear what they say. It's informative as much as it is interesting to see what they go through in the game and all the decisions they have to make and everything else. So let's see what the
stops us from guessing what decisions the refs making.
True. That's another offside. Black Tide penalties are becoming a factor now, where it's
looks like the Mudmen are taking the smart choice and taking the points. pull themselves, if this is good, within one.
Within one.
Once again, Alex Hall, affectionately known as Meatball, going for the kick.
Bit of a abnormal body shape for a center, but he seems to be very effective at it. He's had a couple good runs, a couple good kicks. The skills prevail all at this level for sure. Should be an easy kick.
Yeah, he's a hooker masquerading as a fullback.
He's living the dream, is what you're saying. He's living the dream. Anybody that starts as a hooker and ends as a center is fine in my book. Most other rugby careers go the other way. Most rugby careers die in the front row. There we go.
What are you talking about?
All right, it's a 1 point game, 24-23, turning out to be a great game for the Maritime Championship. Let's see how Black Tide can recover from this, or let's see how PI can keep the momentum going. It's been all PI the second half.
You certainly want to come away from those types of efforts where you've held possession and driven the ball forward. You want to come away with some points for your efforts, and certainly they accomplished that.
Substitution, Josh Davies is being brought on for Brent Baxter. Brent had a good game. He was the penalized player for that last offense there. I'm sure the change has nothing to do with that. He's had a solid game. Josh is a vet of many years. He played in New Zealand a little bit while he was doing his master's degree over there, came back to Moncton. Great part of the club.
Yeah, that's a great example of the fluidity of the players as well. I mean, on the PI side, we've got players from Calgary and Ontario as well coming. So it's one of the great ways to see the world.
It is a great way to see the world.
Yeah.
There's for people that don't know, there's a rugby practice Tuesday, Thursday from 6 to 8. Everywhere there's a rugby club in the world.
That's right.
You just have to go to the pitch and see the boys run around. Oftentimes they'll invite you to join them.
Boys or the men or the women.
Yes,
yeah.
True.
Increasingly, the women are becoming a force, not just on the field in rugby, but as part of the broader rugby community and extending the culture.
In the Moncton area, we have a higher number of women playing than men at the moment. We have more high school women's team. We have more high school women's players in total than boys. So it's been a bit of an opposite.
That's true too here on the island.
Yeah. Some areas is the opposite, and they often consult with us. And what do you guys do different? And, I wish I had an answer, but yeah. All right, a bit of sloppy play here ends up in a scrum. Let's see what the Black Tie can do with the scrum. The PI tight five has been, I think, having the advantage on these a little bit, but Black Tie has been able to recover the ball.
You can
quick
see that
ball,
got
quick
a good
ball.
push off the. That
Will
was
Taylor,
a set
good
play.
hole. And again,
he
he tripped over the
tripped.
line. Wow, that line, it's always there.
I think it was the specter of Meatball coming at him from the 15 position. He wasn't anticipating a hooker in the 15 jersey.
The angles are different. Another sloppy
play
ball.
happening. I
That's
wonder if
not-
there's a little bit of fatigue setting in on the Moncton side.
Perhaps. I think for both clubs, this is as intense as the game will get.
I'm sure they were both emotionally keyed up and charged up before the game, and that, despite the fact that it will get the energy going early on, tends to sort of deplete the reserves early.
PI scrum, the backs are lined up on the left side, which is a bit of a cross pass, but for a skilled scrum half, it's an easy task. There we go. Nice hard tackle. Nice hard tackle. Textbook, what you want to see.
That was beautiful tackle.
Not releasing. Which is one of those rules the IRB's been working on, right? The filching has become such a big part of the game now that turnovers was almost becoming a problem. If you have turnover after turnover, you have no fluidity. So there was always a law about the tackler having to release the ball carrier before he moves the ball to give him a chance to move the ball. Once you're on the ground, you have the right to move the ball. So that kind of added a bit of fluidity, but a little bit of confusion every time you change rules. So I think the guys know about the rules. They just like to cheat a little bit and see how far they can get. But like I said, with these skilled refs, it's really hard to pass anything by them. They have 2 qualified linesmen. It's not an easy task to cheat at this level, especially with these guys. Whoa, look at that
break
guy.
From Phil Gallant.
Nice run.
It was a beautiful offload.
Beautiful. Wow.
But James Coyle, Phil found the space.
Let's see if they can generate anything here. Oh, again,
Bit of
a sloppy play. Get chased by Sandor. Oh,
we're going back to obviously something Anthony saw in the middle of the field. He's calling
number 3.
Moncton players over, reaching into his pocket. Never a good sign when you're being called over to the ref and he's got his hand in his pocket. You're not.
Jesse Wallner.
There you go.
Seems to be a repeat offense card.
Bit of a fake out. He had his right hand in his pocket while he was walking up. He pulled the card out of his left pocket.
He's definitely not going to pull out a cookie and give it to you. You walk over there with the hand in the pocket, you might as well get ready to head off. That's the second yellow card for Black Tide. Again, repeating myself, the penalties are eventually going to catch up to them. I think it is catching up to them now. They're only up by 1. Jesse's their hooker, so he's a crucial piece in lineouts and scrums. Let's see how PI capitalizes on this.
It's a nice kick.
Good kick. And all that, you're bringing all back to that missed kick for possession on the penalty.
Yes.
Black Tie would have got that kick out. They would have avoided all of that. I'm not cheering for anybody here.
That's okay. We can cheer. We all have our own rooting interests in this. We're trying to be as fair as possible.
All right, so PI going back to their not releasing. That's the second call in about the 5 minutes there about the not releasing. It's a very technical part of the game where the ball carrier has to be released on the ground before anybody on the defensive team can go for that ball.
I don't think we saw a single call in the first half for not releasing, and apparently we've unleashed the hounds in the second half here, and it's probably the most common call, as you were mentioning earlier, in modern rugby. Interesting that I don't think we saw one in the first half.
Stu Gosman's going to throw in. Stu Gosman it was the thrower for the Black Tide in the past couple of seasons since when Jesse showed up.
No. Dropping out. Looks like the Mudmen have too many men in the lineout.
Going to reset 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They have 6 guys. Unless the last guy is considered a scrum half or one of the 2 in the hooker. That's an interesting strategy to have your fly half or scrum half at the back, ready to rush. Good steal by PI. That means a lot at this time of the game. Give it to the veteran. Hard run. The Lords are great ball distributors as 10s. They're not the guys that are going to blow through the line and have all the big runs, but defensively they're solid. Offensively, they're very good ball movers. They see where to put the ball. They have good talent putting the balls back and forth. So a lot of different kinds of 10s around, like Jesse for Moncton's more of a ball runner and a strike runner, while the Lloyds have always been really good at distributing the ball, finding the offense.
Chip forward from Tim. Yeah, indeed. And I know when you play with players like that, it calms you down. It keeps you focused on the game in front of you. You're not reacting as much as you are following the lead, if you will. Budman are continuing their 2 or 3 phases, hard crash ball. That was a knock on.
That pass to the winger from PI has been a bit of an issue with them.
Yeah, they're struggling with anything over 2 or 3 meters. It seems that they're pulling their pass a little bit each time, and it's going behind the player.
And as a winger, that must be frustrating. The winger doesn't get the ball often. When he does, it's a huge impact play usually. So every missed pass to the winger like that is a huge opportunity for offense that is wasted.
Because it's, you're looking for that split-second difference, and the ball going to ground and you stopping and turning and picking it up, even if that only takes you a second, that's given the opposition plenty of time to react and cover the space that may have been vacant.
What do you predict here, Maul? Or are we going to go off the top?
I think we're going off the top here. That would be my guess.
There's a lot of spread in the backfield. There we go. That's an illegal throw.
And I was wrong.
Good ball.
Thought they would go for the numerical superiority and try and get the ball out wide quickly.
Yeah. That's an intelligent play. Give it to your biggest guy, let him run. There we go.
Another phase of that, and then another crash, and then get the ball wide.
Oh, sometimes the 9 just gotta take it in.
Good. Stand on his feet well. The opportunity there was to get the ball another link out. No, there it is. There it is.
That's that could be called as a high tackle, which would be a penalty try. Let's see what the ref says.
That should definitely be a try in one way or another. I think he might have had his arm under the ball, but he got his arm under the ball because he had his arm around his neck and spun him around.
And that gives PEI the lead. That's an interesting turn of events, making sure that the end of the game is exciting.
Yeah, and that all comes back to that player sitting off and Budman having that one-man superiority.
True. I wonder how much time there's left on that card. Now, the time for the sin bin is usually held by the ref. There's even if there was a score clock, typically they don't put the time. I would imagine about 2 minutes left on the bin. Now this is a big kick. That separates the team from more than one scoring block.
Yeah, we're right sitting at now, it should be 28-24.
So an 8-point lead. Oh, that's wide. So an 8-point lead is a huge lead for a rugby team. That means that the opposite team has to create points with 2 different plays, which is time consuming, which allows you to recover the ball and then delay a little bit. So the 6-point lead is an advantage to Black Tide at this moment. But I think the missed kicks in this game are going to be very important by the end of this game.
It's a good take. James Coyle has had a very strong, hard-running game. That was a good, quick pick there.
Good job. Oh, yeah, that looked a little sloppy.
And unfortunately, knocked him.
Quick note for the new player that just joined the Black Tide there, number 19. He joined rugby as an Indigenous player for the new Indigenous team in New Brunswick.
Awesome, great program.
Great program. They've had a lot of numbers come out.
Blake Edwards, Jason Peters running a very good program.
True. Special note about Michael: he is deaf, completely deaf, and he played for Riverview High School this year.
Yes,
we figured out ways that he can play. It really doesn't affect his game all that much. Sometimes the whistle goes and he keeps running. That's a little bit comical. Everybody else knows that the play's over. But besides that, a very intense player. He picked up the game very, very quickly.
I remember him from our preseason tournament in Moncton this year.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's not good for Black Tide. A little turnover.
Steve
Fitness
McMillan
seems to be a bit of an issue now for Black Tide. Let's see how they pick up the pace for the last 20, 25 minutes. I've got about 20 minutes on the clock.
He does very well, even though he goes into contact. That our 8 goes into contact relatively upright, but still maintains his feet and manages to maintain possession of the ball. There's no small feat.
Another carry by James. I think he's probably had like 20, 25 carries today. All positive yardage.
Yeah.
Josh Davies, good tackle.
Steve McMillan again. The workhorses are really coming to the fore here. Second half wears on. Maintaining the pressure by pounding the ball up. Justin Edwards. This tires out the other team. If you're forced to make tackle after tackle after tackle.
You always have energy to play offense, right? You'll always have energy to play offense.
Yeah.
It's the defense that you really have to dig down and move your feet. Yes. It could be held up. That could be an interesting. Oh, Stu Cosme with the turnover. That's an interesting line to run right into the big boys. Let's see if the backs can move this ball. Jesse Tweedle.
I feel a kick coming on. Oh,
okay, bit of an overlap.
Some of the Black Tide folks a little slow to get up from that last breakdown.
There seems to be a bit of
confusion
lack
in the
of
middle
energy
of the
there.
field there. Some relentless pursuit from Spencer Gallant. That hooker's had a very good game, I think, for the Black Tide. Strong on his feet, good in the set piece. Looks like he's feeling it right now, but
you mean the gentleman wearing number 2?
yes.
Yes, Stu Cosman, yes. Yeah, Stu's a very experienced player. He chooses his moments very well defensively. He'll stick his tackles. Yeah, he's a good player. Josh Davies, who back in university was a 10, now he's a prop. Let's see.
Oh, lovely pursuit.
Wow, that's a great chase. That could be a
tackle.
game-changing chase.
You can see the Moncton team is standing around a little bit around that breakdown. You can see that fatigue is setting in a little bit, I think, for Moncton, unfortunately.
Yep, your prediction
Although
was
that
right.
That is a nice. You can even see that there. That if he wasn't tired, he would have gone for the break there. He was looking for support.
Moncton caught a bit of a break there. Knock on by the PI Munmen, or have a scrum down.
Looks
I
like
think
the yellow card's over.
Yellow card is over. Jesse Wellner is back on. And we got a substitution. We got 3 substitutions coming from PI, 20, 21, and 19. Blake, Patrick. Maybe the numbers are.
Looks like the numbers are a little messed up here. I'll have to take a more closer look.
Looks like the big man, Murph, is coming off, the try scorer.
Yeah. Spencer Gallant's coming off.
Do you think we're going to see any of those guys on the
Tim
inside?
Hawken. I think all of those 3 all had very strong games.
Very.
Certainly Murph and Gallant were definitely playing.
Now, you think we'll see any of those guys on the east side?
They may be subbing, I would think, yeah.
I mean, Murph is a solid 6'5", 230 pounds, 240 pounds. You don't find that everywhere.
No. It's the classic sports comment that you can't coach size.
Nope, you can't. The bigger they are, the harder they'll hit you.
The bigger they are, the more they'll eat. At least that's true with me.
Oh, yeah, I think there's going to be a held-on penalty here for Black Tide. Bit of confusion, I think. Looks like the boys are kitted up with some radios. That's great for. There we go. So Black Tide are.
Do we go for points? What do we think? No, just going for a quick tap. Trying to catch them flat-footed. Once again, looking to make that breakthrough in the centers. That number 12 was very strong on his feet.
There seems to be an overlap on the right. That's a long ways away.
I don't think.
Forward pass.
I don't think that Stu Cosman was expecting the ball there. He was like, "Hey, I'm just taking a breath, man."
Yeah.
I wasn't looking for the ball.
We haven't seen a lot of the quote unquote injuries yet, where one of the old boys hurts a knee or something, and all of a sudden, and in comes Mike Scharnberg for Ian Morrison, also known as Chili. Mike Scharnberg has been a member of this club for the Black Tide for many, many years. He's a veteran. He had a chance to play a bit of rock for Pat Parfrey back in the day in his younger years. Big part of the club, so good to see him on the field right now. Let's see what he can do. Offensively, he's very dynamic. He sees the game very well.
Players such as this, as he is, and the older players on all teams are essential to the success of rugby clubs. Sure, they're the keepers and the holders of the culture, and as the young players come into the game, they're indoctrinated, if you will, by just the presence of the older players, and that unbroken line going back, I'm sure, to the beginning of the sport years ago.
You remember those guys being more of a veteran or of the club now. You remember coming into the club the first years and seeing those guys, the guys that have had the time on the pitch, and they know about what it takes to win and whatever else. You learn a lot from them on and off the pitch. Yeah. That's what PEI does here. I would imagine a little bit of a clearing kick. Very good.
A little bit of a miss kick. I'm sure he was hoping for the ball to go a little deeper than that.
Abnormal for
they're
for
generally
the
very
guy.
Consistent kicking. The Lloyds, not just are steady, in playing ball distribution in the fly half roll, but solid kickers. Often stay late at practice and work on kicking together. It's a bit of an overthrow.
I think it's not straight. So Jesse Milner coming back from a yellow card. First attempt at throwing the ball in, not straight. Again, a missed opportunity.
Pace of the game slowed a little bit. Often when subs come in as well, it tends to sort of break up the flow as players had got into rhythm working with each other for the first usually 50, 60 minutes of the game, and the new players come in with different levels of energy. And
yeah, your subs have a higher level of energy, but still your 16, 17, 18 don't have the skills that your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 have. So it's a bit of a weird balance where they come in, they have full energy, but your skilled guys are being pulled off. So
there's a better one.
There's a better one that's inside. More distance. Great cover. Great kick cover. I mean, they only gained 5 yards on that kick. That's good. Bit of a slow ball.
Back into the mess.
That's a penalty. Would you go for points here?
If I had the distance, I would. If I had a kicker that I knew would make that spot, I would definitely go for points. Where are they? They're about 35 meters out.
Within range for Paul Arsenault. Paul, he's got a good foot. Decision to kick. Let's make sure it goes out. Nice catch by Michael.
I think they're down 4 points, so they definitely need, while a penalty kick would give them a little bit of a opportunity and cushion to leverage sort of their next penalty. Clearly, they want to put their foot on the gas pedal here. That was a nice throw. Definitely, the Mudmen had the answer for that play. Oh, bit of a broken play now. Ball behind the gain line.
The feet seem to be a little bit slower for the Black Tide right now.
For sure.
Your prediction on the fitness was right. Oh, that's a card.
Definitely intentional.
That's a card.
Definitely intentional. Yeah.
No
that
card.
should be more than just a penalty. I agree with you. At this stage of the game,
Going for points.
They're making the decision now that they could have made a minute ago.
Time is slowly becoming an issue for the Black Tide. I would say there's about 12 minutes left, maybe 10.
It's been a very close game, and I think that's what everyone was predicting coming into this game, and it's certainly borne out those thoughts. Sets the ball up quite low.
Oh. Let's see how that goes. That's
No,
not good.
Looks like he pulled it left.
22 drop for the PI Mudmen. Again,
First one of this game, I think. Oh, we've seen a 22 drop, haven't we?
referee just 11 minutes left, just
Okay.
indicated, so at least we know where we're staying on time.
It's a good high kick. Give the chasers some time to get to the ball.
Simon,
that was
good,
a nice take.
Good take by Simon.
Straight through Simon Hood, who was going for the ball. Hands in the ruck.
That's an interesting call for that Black Tie was the last player of the ruck. He came out with the ball. All right, 10 minutes left. Black Tie down by 4 on the road. This is where all your training comes in. I'm sure PI have been preparing for this game all summer as well. I'm sure they've been dreaming about this game since last year. Potential for a big, big weekend for PI rugby. Big weekend.
Both on and off the pitch, and there's lots of activities happening all weekend. There's a sevens tournament tomorrow with the U18s, a Maritime Fall Series it's been going on for the last few weeks. It's continuing this weekend tomorrow here on the island. That was a bit of a mess, shall we say? Knockout in the lineout. Knock on in the lineout, sorry. That was a nice ball. And drop. You can see fatigue has taken its toll on both sides.
Yep.
A little bit of sloppy play. A bit of things that early in the game would be pretty crisp and clean, and a little messy now.
Unfortunately for Black Tide, being more of a backs kind of team, the fitness will limit their offense, right?
Yes.
Well, PI is still going to be able to bang it.
Oh, there's the 10-12 combination with the Black Tide have been very strong. That might have been a high tackle.
Oh, Simon. It's a very shifty individual. Well, that was that could have been a game changer.
That
could have been a game changer.
It's a sloppy spilled ball.
Let's see what the call is here. I would imagine it's just a dead ball on the ground. It'll be a PI scrum. I don't think anybody's lining up to sub anybody in. I think both sides have put the people in that they feel that they should be in. Probably looking at 6 minutes, maybe 7 minutes. I think we can expect the typical kick for possession here, kick for territory here from the 10. I don't think we'll see any surprises here. You wouldn't want to do a play and have a turnover close to your line at this point. I think
do not want to risk spilling the ball.
There we go.
Definitely kicking to the
ball. Oh, kicking to the middle of the field. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but
I can't imagine that was intentional. Lovely chase from Simon Hood.
Very good.
Part of the Hood family here on the island, a very big rugby family. His brother Isaiah is a starter on the first team, and his sister Tessa is the starting scrum half for the UPI women's team.
It's always fun to see families being involved. It adds more to the club. It adds more to everything. Like if you look at the sidelines, you see little kids and parents and grandparents, and it's a really good family atmosphere. We've been working on that in New Brunswick to have a family-friendly atmosphere when you go to the pitch to keep the keep the negative to a minimal, to have a good atmosphere. We try to be friendly between clubs, friendly between unions. I think it'll pay off in the end for the way that we behave and the way that people see rugby.
Absolutely.
We would hate for the normal person to see rugby as just a hooligans game, right? It's a sport. It's a very well organized sport. It's very good. It's very good for young athletes to play this sport. It brings a lot to their lives.
And often from the people that are sort of unfamiliar with the game, see only the aspects that can frighten some folks. The contact and the perceived roughness of the game. It's really
must have been an advantage.
Yeah, I don't know if he's calling advantage, but if
I think his energy levels are also a little low.
Okay.
Those signals. There we go with a bit of a knock on. All right, let's get a little time check here. I don't know if people at home can see the time on the screen. We're looking at probably 4, 5, 6 minutes. We got guys cramping up here, giving a little bit of a stretch. There we go.
we haven't been seeing a lot of that phase play we saw through most of the first half. It's been a fairly sort of up the gut to 2 or 3 phase crash, drop the ball, knock on, set piece kind of thing that we've been seeing here in the second half. It's again probably fatigue oriented at 8-9 pick.
You've seen Paul Arsenault move the ball quite a bit at the base of the ruck, who typically is like a backup scrum half for the club. Mm-hmm. You're seeing a lot internationally of anybody moving the ball now.
Yes.
The game is so fast that one man is having a hard time, or one woman having a hard time going back and forth. So having the ability to pick the ball off the back of the ruck, move the ball. I truly believe that the 9 position in the future will only be for set pieces, where everybody will be able to pass the ball. The next guy gets to the ruck, he moves the ball. Why wait for a 9? Internationally, you see it a lot more. You see in French professional leagues where the 9 will stand as a 10, and then they'll move the ball from the forwards.
It's certain offensive strategies now, particularly like the 1-3-3-1. You have 2 link players, so it's the link players functioning, alternatively as 9/fly half kind of roles interchangeably.
All right, we're getting into a do or die kind of situation here for Black Tide. PI has been in their own zone now for a good 10 minutes. They've held very hard, very strong. And Moncton really hasn't gotten close to the line, but at the same time, they've been putting pressure. Games like this, you need that.
I think what we're going to see, what's going to make the difference here is, the game's kind of scrambly. It's lost its shape, and a lot of the structure's sort of gone, and it's going to be either one individual play, either a great step, a great breakthrough, a missed tackle, something like that is going to be the big difference in this game.
Ben Lass. Oh, nice offload. There we go. See if Jesse can make something happen here. Big loss of territory here for the Black Tide. That's a huge defensive effort from PI. All right,
Strong
a lot of
work
bodies,
from
a lot of
Simon Hood
bodies. There we go. The ball's moving. We always want to see the ball moving.
Knock on.
Oh, that's going to hurt. That's going to hurt for the Black Tide. That was
a scrambly play that's been the sort of hallmark of the second half, unfortunately, for both sides.
Yep. I think PI or Charlottetown's goal here is to slow it down, have a good scrum, recover the ball, and then basically keep the ball in hand. Like you don't need to do
just
any
constantly
fancy
pound the
plays
ball up the gut, up the centers, with the trailing forwards. Just keep the ball in hand. Break down ruck, break down ruck, break down ruck. Just keep going.
And ball retention in sport is a skill in and of itself. I mean, if the team that recovers the ball, the game is designed to give the win to that team. So PI has been really good recovering the ball. They haven't turned over the ball a whole lot. There's been small issues with light knock-on and stuff like that, but it's been.
That's Blake Jerkowski with the ball, one of the products of our U18 program. Graduated this year out of our U18 program, playing for the senior men. Great tribute to James Voy, who's one of our key youth coaches on the island, and does a great job with emerging players.
You got to give it to James. He's put in the time and he's seen the results. He's a good manager. He's a good coach. He was just standing next to us a couple minutes ago, and I think he just disappeared.
He's a coach with UPI women as well.
Oh, okay,
so,
there you go.
Yeah,
they're kicking off in a couple minutes.
Yeah. We got to be getting down to brass tacks. There can't be much time left in this game.
I'm estimating about 2 minutes, 3 minutes. And I think you're right. It'll either be a breakthrough for the Black Tide to score the winning try, or a big tackle to turn over the ball. But you have to imagine this is the one of the last chances for either teams to make an impact. Game man pick seems to be the go-to right now for Black Tide.
It's a good strong break from the flank from Sill off of that to stop that 8-man.
A good flanker will make a big difference.
Looks like, unfortunately,
Josh Davies. Oh, good tackle by a 9 on a big man. That's good.
that Forrest had a good strong game, I think, too, for Moncton. Backwards.
Last minute energy here. I think Paul Larson was arguing that was lost in the tackle, but still went backwards. You're not going to win that argument.
Yeah, I would agree with him.
You're not going to win that
I do think
argument.
the ball went backwards in that tackle. I don't think it was a knock-on.
The laws are also designed to reward skill, right? At that point, there was a lack of skill. Do you deserve the benefit of the call?
Skill
Probably not.
And positive play.
Yeah. There's an entire new back line there. Good clean out.
Spencer Massia is quite content to take the tackle.
Smart play. Smart play. There's no need for a hero offensively right now from Trailtown.
The more you fight through the ball with like that, the more chance you have of dropping it. So it's
true.
Secure the ball in contact. Wait for the next phase. The Moncton player has his hands on the ball. No, I would say it could quite possibly have been a not releasing call against the Mudman.
2 minutes. 2 minutes call by the ref here. Let's see how this plays out the last 2 minutes. I think the opportunities for Black Tide to bring it home are slim at this moment. Let's see if we can get a recovery. Obviously, a try here by PI would be another nail in the coffin. It's never been easy coming to PI. In all the leagues and all the levels I coach, it is a challenging place to play. It's
just a short drive across the bridge.
But it's a very long ways away from home.
Yes.
It is. You would think the bridge would make it closer, but it's not. Slow ball by PI. Oh, good steal. Oh, wow, that was.
He's trying very hard to make that play work. Yeah, tried a bit too hard there. Probably would have been better to take the ball down, keep the ball, eat it, go
the old
to
story
ground.
of too much is not
trying to
enough.
force it.
Yeah. I think everybody's looking just for that one last
So
burst of
Duguay
speed.
showing his versatility here, taking the throw in.
Look at that. Good form, good ball.
And once again, though, Moncton's been a Very good on the line-out defense.
I thought he was going to call a knock on there.
Yeah, it was a bit of a mess again, but just come up with the ball. And they got an overlap here. They got 2 big forwards out on the wing. And once again, a smaller man taking down a charging bigger man. It's a classic passive tackle technique. You can see them with Mudman taste blood, and they got their like Sil Duguay's down in the backfield behind the play. Getting some work from the physio.
Guys are stretching everywhere on the field. The last couple of minutes, they're hard minutes. This is where the practices come in play. This is where the runs and the 200s and everything you hate about practice.
Yep.
This is really where it counts. It's really where it counts. Black Tide have a bit of an advantage here. Oh, no time.
So we're right down at right. There shouldn't be much time left in this game.
No. Luckily for Black Tide, you can't end the game on a penalty. So let's see if Black Tide it'll be all about recovering the ball after each tackle and recycling and see if they can march down the field. You have to believe that any mistake at this point. Duguay tried to sprint there, and again, cramping is not much you can do for cramping. There's not much you can do for cramping. Black Tide are arguing about the change of number 23.
I think that's Tyler Jerkowski. There's 2. No. I can't tell from here who that is. I think that is Tyler Jerkowski. So there's 2 Jerkowski brothers out there, another strong rugby family on the island.
All right, I think the ref is indicating last play. It's really hard to see what he's doing with those gloves on. It's very different for a ref to be wearing gloves.
It's a very delicate soul.
Sure, if I was playing, I'd mention that to him from up here. We'll let everybody else at home know. There we go. That's a maul. First maul of the game.
Moncton's been strong in the lineout.
Backwards. Well-deserved victory.
Yeah.
Well-deserved victory.
So close. Excellent game.
So close.
Both teams.
I think it comes down to kicking, penalties, and fitness. I think for Black Tide, too many penalties early on, making them play more defense, tiring them out, and it just didn't have the legs there in the last 20 minutes. Good season for Black Tide. I think it's their first defeat of the summer, which doesn't bring any solace at this moment.
Yeah.
Nobody likes losing, but Black Tide have had a run of success. They've had a lot of guys being represented in the Super League and stuff like that. So hopefully in the future we'll be back. Well done, sir.
Excellent game.
Mr. President of the PI Union.
And Mr. President of the New Brunswick Union. Thank you for your...
definitely are big deals.
For your
They paid a lot of money to have us here today, boys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Still waiting for that check.
It's in the mail. It's in the mail.
All right, well.
All right. So you'll be back for the women's game?
We'll be back for the women's game.
2 o'clock kickoff Eastern time?
My partner has not arrived, so if you're up to it, you may sub in. You can sub in for the women's game.
I'd love to. I've actually coached a couple of the PI girls and a couple of the St. Mary's girls back in high school or Black Tide, so that'd be very interesting.
If we're still on the air right now, I don't know that we are, but if we are, then if anyone's listening and they want to tune in, AUSTV.ca, the UPI women will be playing the St. Mary's Huskies at 2 o'clock. See you then. Thanks, Yves.
Thank you.